Hey, and welcome to Fit with Turo Fitness Podcast, a podcast for people who want to get no BS information about fitness and know that fitness is about so much more than losing scale weight. It's about feeling confident in your skin and empowered in your life. I'm your host, Turo Virta, personal trainer, strength and nutrition coach, and most of all, a husband of my beautiful wife, Miriam. Each week, my guests and me will give you some no BS fitness tips and motivate you to take action in your own personal fitness journey as we talk about nutrition, exercise, mindset, personal development, and executing in life with enjoyable but still effective strategies. If your goal is to look better, feel and be strong and experience transformation from inside out, you, my friend, are in the right place. Thank you for jumping in, and now let's jump into today's episode. So how to boost and how to fix your metabolism. And so this is something what I get asked very often. And the reason is that many people, they are eating already very little calories and probably doing at the same time a lot of workouts, but still feeling that they see so less results. So often they think that there is something wrong with metabolism or their body, because the progress is not what it should be. And in this episode, I'm telling you why that the weight loss is getting harder, older you are getting, and what could be the reasons that you are actually in a weight loss plateau, and what kind of signs there is for slow metabolism, and then ultimately how to get out of weight loss plateau. And I'm also talking about secret how to actually optimize your metabolism for fat loss. So to get started, why that weight loss is getting harder as older you get. You probably already know that when we are getting older, we are starting to lose muscle mass, and that is starting around at age of 30. And from there, you are losing every decade muscle mass if you are not fighting against it. So how to fight against it? It's eating a lot of or high protein diet and doing some form of resistance training at the same time. If you are not doing these things, your muscle mass will go down. You are losing muscle mass, and at the same time, as muscle it needs more energy than fat. And if you think that why that strength training, why every coach is, and why I'm so passionate about it, it's simply that 1 pound, like a half kilo around muscle mass, needs 6 to 10 calories more than 1 pound or 500 grams of fat in your body. So more muscle mass you have, more calories you are burning when you are resting. And that is something what is a little bit boosting your metabolism. And if you think that when we are getting older, then at the same time, you are usually where it is coming from, that you are feeling that your metabolism is getting slower, is that you are losing muscle mass. Then you are probably getting a little bit less active than usually or than earlier. And at the same time, women could have a menopause at the same time, which is making things even more challenging. And this is kind of sum of all things, is that it feels like that you are working so hard but seeing so less results. And that's why in this training I'm explaining you exactly what you need to do to actually boost your metabolism, and where it is, what kind of steps you need to do to avoid that kind of weight loss plateaus and everything. So before I'm telling those most effective ways to boost your metabolism, let's get started. What is actually metabolism and where it is coming from? So it's simply just how many calories your body needs, and where it's coming from. It's coming from BMR. BMR is meaning basal metabolic rate, and it's amount of your calories your body needs to keep you alive. Like, let's say that imagine situation that you would be laying down in a coma. Your body needs still some energy, even you are not doing anything. It's just you are still alive, and your body needs still some calories to keep you alive, that blood is circulating, lungs are working, stuff like that. And this is your BMR, and that is around 70% of total amount of calories. So let's say that if you have used some, like for example, my calorie calculator, you get your maintenance calories, they are 2000, for example. 1400 calories you need your body needs just to keep you alive. It's around 70%. Then rest, it's around 15% is coming from need. It's a non-exercise activity. So basically all kind of steps when you are walking, are you using your hands when you are talking, what kind of facial impressions you are making, that is called need. And this has nothing to do with that exercise, what you think that you are going to work out and sweat for 30 minutes going for a run. This has nothing to do. This is need, is just normal activities you are doing. You take a stairs, and that is actually, it's 15% more or less. Then there is a thermic defect of food, and that is around 10%. What is thermic defect of food? That is the amount of your body needs energy through digestion, kind of keeping that body temperature up. And what is highest, what is affecting that thermic defect of food? There are different foods what are increasing the thermic defect of food. For example, that's why you probably have heard that protein is so important, and that is the protein is has the highest thermic defect of food. So it means that for example, 100 calories from protein, you're around 25 calories, 25% from protein is going to thermic defect of food to keep your body temperature high. So it means that from 100 calories from protein, your body actually needs already 25 for thermic defect of food. For carbs, it's 5 to 10, and for fats, it's 0 to 3. If I don't have those numbers here, but you get the idea that it's that's why the protein, even if you eat, let's say, 100 calories from fats or carbs, if you eat 100 calories from protein, your body is reacting differently on those calories. So it's not the same 100 calories, even it's on the label, but it's a thermic defect of food. It makes big difference, and that's why if you are eating high protein, it's increasing that thermic defect of food. And then the rest, it's around 5%. We are coming to 5 to maybe, depending how active you are, maybe some people are able to get it to 10% of your total calories. What you need is coming from exercise, what you burn during exercise. So if you go your treadmill, you go to run, it makes only 5% of total calories. So what most people are doing wrong, they are focusing on those increasing that 5% calories. If you would be able to increase, for example, your BMR through that you have more muscle mass, you are burning while you are resting, while you are sleeping, already more calories. So, and it's not very rare that you could get your basal metabolic rate, let's say, to 300 calories higher, and what is also increasing when you have more muscle mass, you are most likely more active. So let's say that your basic things, what you are not even thinking as an exercise, you are increasing them with 200-300 calories per day, and think that it's like a half an hour cardio every single day without actually doing it. So this is like in a long term, if you think that what is the most beneficial way, it's that having that strength and doing that strength training, and then focusing on those calories burned as little as possible, as they mean close to zero. If your goal is to lose body fat, improve your body composition, amount of calories you burn during exercise doesn't mean anything. So then let's think that what kind of things are affecting to your metabolism. So it's obviously your genetics. Then there is your age, but actually there is an even pretty recent study that age, I used to believe that when you are getting older, it's just getting lower, but actually that is not the truth. And there is actually recent studies are telling that are showing that your metabolism is not going slower basically at all before you turn 60. Then it's going decreasing like a little bit every year and every decade, but until 60, age of 60, that age is not slowing down your metabolism. And then, like we talked, like I said earlier, it's your how much you weigh and your how much lean body mass, how much muscle mass you have. Those are affecting of your total metabolism. Then obviously your diet, it's basically that thermic defect of food, what I already said. Then obviously exercise, your lifestyle. And now let's think that what kind of things you can affect. So you can't affect, unfortunately, your genetics. You can't even, you would love to change your parents or genetics. You can't do it. You can't, unfortunately, change your age. So it is what it is, and that you can't do. But even those things like that, what you can change is your lean body mass. You can change affect your diet. You can affect your exercise and lifestyle, and those are things like that. For example, for weight, more lean body mass you have, more energy you will burn, and that diet, that about that protein. So it's still, when I get new clients, almost 90%, I would say, of my clients who start to work with me are getting too little protein. So that's why that protein, it's almost one of the first steps where I focus on to add more protein. So it's increasing your thermic effect of food, and makes you feel fuller, helps you build that muscle mass. So that is the most important macronutrient. Before taking any carbs away, before reducing any fats, it's adding protein. And that for exercise part, then what is that to boost? If you want to boost your metabolism long term, always short term solution is to burn as many calories as you can, is as quickly as possible. But in long term solution is to make your body fat burning machine which burns most calories while you are resting. And the key for that is that resistance training, like I already said. And then obviously what you can affect is your lifestyle and those that need. So what kind of, how many steps you are getting, what kind of, how many, because those, like your activity levels, it matters a lot more than how many calories you burn during your workout. So then what are then most effective ways to boost your metabolism? So number one is to add more muscle mass. So strength training your whole body and not only your problem zone. And this is other very common problem. What I see is that especially women, they are focusing on their problem zones, and then they are training, like doing like ab exercises just daily, because they are not happy with their belly. They might have, or obviously men too, me too, I have some belly fat what I would love to lose, but it's not, it's those ab exercises don't actually help. So because if you think that you want to get more leaner abs, for example, how to, or flat toned belly, how to call it. But if you think like that, abs, they are muscle, like let's say biceps. That is easier to understand. If you train your biceps, you strength train it, your muscle is growing, it's getting bigger. It's like not easy, but that's the goal for why people are training biceps, for example. And it's exactly the same thing with ab muscle. Ab muscle is a muscle. When you get stronger abs, it's growing. So I'm not telling that you get your beer belly by training abs, but it's not helping to reduce that belly fat. And when you want to get that, build that muscle mass overall in your whole body, you should train your whole body, and not only that your problem zones. And the main focus should be always on your bigger muscles, like glutes, back muscles, where it's easier to add more muscle mass. And lean muscle mass, if you train like a small muscles like a shoulders or something, it's not that you are not going to burn so many calories, even you have massive shoulders, even that muscle, because that muscle is so small that it's a lot easier when you are training mostly on those bigger muscles. So like I said, that 1 pound, half kilo around muscle burns around 6 to 10 calories per day. 1 pound of fat burns 2 to 3 calories a day. So you might think that it's not that big difference, but then there is, like I said, there's another benefits, like that when you more muscle mass you have, more energy you have, you are probably increasing your need, you are more active, you are using your hands and facial impressions, stuff like that, when you have more muscle mass. And then that is why how you are then burning more calories when you are resting. And like if you think still that it doesn't sound so big difference, but let's say that you would have 10 pounds, like 4 or 5 kilos more muscle mass, it alone burns 100 calories more every single day while you are resting, while you are watching Netflix or you are sleeping. And when that muscle is growing, that process, when muscle is growing, it requires also some energy. So there is kind of that when you are strength training, it's that double effect, what is then increasing your energy outtake, or how many calories your body needs. And then what kind of strategies, like what I love, that strength training, you don't have to do it every single day, but if you do it 2 to 3 times, max maybe 4 times a week, it burns like a lot more fat than performing only cardio in your workouts. So now I hope you are understanding that how the strength training is helping. But even you are strength training, it doesn't justify you to go and eat pizza and ice cream every single day. So it doesn't make that big difference, but in a long term, it makes huge difference. And there are another health benefits, like for that strength training. It should not be workouts or exercise should never be for fat loss. It should be always for strength reasons, increasing bone density, and then rather worrying like that what kind of exercise is burning most calories. So these are simplest things. Like then next step, how to increase your metabolism, is that adding that protein. But that I already talked, and increasing need is kind of third point. So then how to know if you are actually your metabolism is low, and if you are in a weight loss plateau. So first of all, how to know that if you are actually in a plateau. So because many people, they are thinking that I'm eating very healthy, very little, exercising a lot, but not making progress. But are you really tracking accurately? Because what I see is that from Monday to Thursday, usually it's 1,200 or whatever calories, like very little calories, healthy. And then weekend comes, and then it's like that now I have my cheat day or cheat days. And then it's like that you go out having some drinks, snacks, a little bit not tracking so accurately. And then all of a sudden, there is no progress. And it's so easy to overconsume those calories during the weekends. So if you are not tracking accurately, that is the first step to be sure that you are actually tracking accurately, and that you have been consistent at least for 4 weeks. So, but if you are in situation, because I know I have helped many people that they have been tracking accurately longer time and still not making progress in their workouts, not seeing any weight loss, fat loss progress, and that is if you are not making progress, then your situation is that there is no other progress, that you are not making. There is no difference in your pictures, or there is no difference in your tape measurement. So you are tracking many different ways, not only scale weight, because you might not be losing scale weight, but still make progress. And the most common problem is that people they are making progress, but they don't realize that they make progress. And that's why they end up quitting. So that's why it's so important to track your progress in a different ways, so many as possible. So you are taking pictures, you are taking tape measurements, you are tracking your workout. So you are in some form of progress, you should be. But if there is no, then it means that you might be in a plateau. And then obviously consistency, that you have been at least 80% consistent with your calories, with your workouts, with your steps. And if all you can say that I have done all this, but there is still no progress. So when this is called, first of all, plateau. And then let's say that, because I have worked with many people who have been in a deficit for years, for decades even. And And that is something what have probably caused that your metabolism have adapted. So there is no such a thing that your metabolism is broken. It's not broken, otherwise you would be dead. But it might have adapted. And often, if your situation is that you have been in a let's say in a deficit for 12 to 16 weeks or longer, so 3 to 4 months in a deficit, and suddenly you are not making progress anymore. Because usually people, when they start going for calorie deficit, trying to lose weight, they might see in the beginning some progress, but then same things what worked earlier were not working anymore. And there is a couple things why this is happening. First of all, if you have lost some weight, you have to check your calories again. How many calories have you adjusted? Because if you weigh less, your calories what your body needs, they are going lower. So you should be reducing your calories also while you are losing weight. So same amount of calories might be deficit in the beginning, but after a couple of months, it might be your new maintenance, and that's the reason. And but how to get then out of it? Like losing strategy in a long term is that you are trying to cut 500 calories, lose another 5 to 10 pounds or 2 to 5 kilos, and then trying to burn more calories, cut even more, because then the question is always that how low you can go, because there is going to be end at some point that if you are starting with 1,600 calories working very well, then you are going to cut it for 1,004, 1,002, then you are 1,000. And ultimately, it's going to be so low that your energy levels are so low, and it's an endless road. So that's why you have probably heard that you have to take some kind of diet breaks and raise your calories. Go for maintenance for short period of time, and then go back to deficit. So this is kind of long-term thinking, that if you are all the time trying to do same things, our bodies are very good at adapting, and it's easy to explain is that if you because nutrition is more or less same than exercise. So if you think that let's take an example for running. So if you, let's say that you haven't been running for years and you want to go for a run and run 5 kilometers, and you might need, in the beginning, you might need an hour. And it's hard. It's very effective workout for you, but then you do it more often. You do it every once in a while. But if you always keep the same speed, same length, so you aim for 5 kilometers for 1 hour, your body becomes more effective. Your body is adapting what you are telling to your body to do. And that is then after a year running 2 to 3 times per week, that 5 kilometers in 1 hour, it's easy. You don't burn that many calories than you burned very first time. And it's same thing with nutrition. So if you keep doing same things over and over again, months after months, your body is going to adapt. And then to get out of this, like how to get out of running plateau, if you would call it running plateau, that you don't burn as the same amount of calories with that 5 kilometer run for an hour than earlier, how you are going to change it. So either you run for longer or you run faster. And with the nutrition is that you actually go for opposite direction, and you start actually eating more, feeding your body more, because then that your body is, if you are consistently giving low energy, first of all, it's a big stress for your body. Calorie deficit always huge stress factor for your body, and because there is missing energy, and your body would need to survive and to perform it at best level, your body would need more energy. And if you never give that energy, it's a big stress, and your body our bodies are made to survive, not to thrive and lose fat. So you have to be kind of smarter than your body. And this is the mental struggle when you have, especially if you are in a situation that you have still some weight and fat to lose, and you have had some progress, and then mentally you have to go for opposite direction, and thinking that what I'm going to do is that I need to actually start eating more, adding my calories closer to maintenance or to your maintenance. And this is where most people panic. They are like that, no, there's no way I'm going to eat more. But this is what I love to use is called reverse dieting, and that is that you are adding calories week by week. So let's say that you are in situation you are eating 1,200 calories, you are not losing weight. Your maintenance should be, let's say, 2,000. And what I would say that you start adding calories, 100, 150 calories per week, then do that for a week after, add another 100, 150 calories, up to a point that you are getting to your maintenance calories or close to that. And then when you start to, when you know that it's too much, is that when your average scale weight gain, it's more than pound or more than half kilo on average per week, then it's going to be too much, and then it's time to stop. Then it's time to stay and not go. But don't panic if when you are starting this thing, it's going to often you gain weight within first, let's say 10, 14 days, you are gaining some scale weight, which is totally normal as you are feeding your body. You are giving more energy to your body, but then that scale weight is going away. And that is the reason. That is the reason why most people, when they start eating more, they are seeing that scale is going up, and that's the time when they panic, that they are like, that no way, I'm not going to eat more because I'm getting fat again, and that is the biggest fear what they have. And this is the why that you probably, what I recommend is that at this time work with some person, with some coach or someone who knows what is going to happen. So there is coach or person who is answering your questions, because you will have so many insecurities, questions at this time. Is this normal? Is this okay? What is happening? So that is, if you are doing it alone, it's you have to be really trusting the process and keep going no matter what. And that can be very, very challenging. Then if you are interested to learn, I have a couple of good podcast episodes. I think my Fit Me to podcast episode number 49 with Silvia, number 8, if I don't remember right, with Lukas, are telling their experiences, what happened during their reverse dieting, and they were both able to raise their calories almost by 1,000 calories, and while actually not gaining any weight or actually even losing weight, starting to make progress while eating more. So these are just good experiences, good stories from my clients. If you are in that kind of situation that you should be starting eating more, listen to those episodes, as they might help you a lot. Then how then to actually start to optimizing that metabolism? Like I said, this is a strategy to get your calories up, and then when you have found basically the highest point, you stay there for, it's not only for a week or two, you have to stay there for longer. I would say that at least month, 2, and it might take even longer, depending on how long you have been in deficit. What is kind of your relationship with food? Maybe at this point, like for example with Silvia, she originally wanted to lose fat, but then when we got her to her maintenance, she was like that, no way, I feel so great, I feel so good, my workouts, I have never felt that good in my workouts, that I don't want to go to deficit, I want to be here, I want to feel this way and make progress in my workouts than trying to lose that fat. So your goals might change during that time when you do it, and you feel that your energy levels and everything is going so much better. So these things, what else is mattering is that just if you are starting to fat loss phase or something, is that don't try to starve yourself, because if you are underfeeding your body like on regular basis, like dieting for months, years, or even decades, like I said, your metabolism will adapt to those lower new calorie intake, and because it's a real thing, and that is like starving yourself, trying to go find the fastest possible way human can lose body fat, it's not the best way. It's in the long term, you do more harm than good for your body. Even you might be tempted to see quick results. You feel like that I need to lose fat now fast, but the fastest way to lose fat is not to try to search the fastest way, because it's usually the most sure way how you are going to gain it also back later on. So that's why take your time and look those sustainable methods, because that is in the long term fastest way how to get your results. So even you feel in the beginning that it should be faster, but think it like that, if that same thing, if you are able to maintain your results and you make progress throughout the year, in after 6 to 12 months, you are in a lot better place than you are trying to search the fastest way to make progress within a month or two. So this was, I think, the quickest, fastest way, and how to get out of weight loss plateau, how to boost your metabolism. I hope it was helpful, and thank you for listening, and talk to you soon again.
Hold up, friend. Do you love Fit Me Turo Fitness podcast? If so, the best way to say thank you is to subscribe to the podcast and leave a review on iTunes. I know every podcaster wants you to leave a review, but it's because those reviews help the podcast to reach more people. I truly want to know what you think, and if this particular episode resonated with you, would you also please share it? Either send a link to someone who you think will find it valuable, or take a screenshot and post it into your social media and tell your friends and family why they should listen it. Make sure you tag me so I can hear your feedback and give you a little love. And if you aren't already following me on Instagram or TikTok, that's the perfect time to hit that follow button. Thank you for being here and listening to Fit Me Turo Fitness podcast.